This series of audio videos presents an overview of and training for a new cloud-based dues tracking system. This system was developed exclusively for the members of Council 25 of the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. Council 25 is located in the state of Michigan. The purpose of the dues tracking system is to streamline the accounting and reporting of membership union dues and to provide secure and efficient access for authorized members to review the records of their union chapter's membership dues activity. The main component of the dues tracking system resides within Council 25's local area network. It is tightly integrated with Dynamics GP and enables the posting of membership dues receivable and the related check remittances from various sources including employees, chapters, and individual members. The dues tracking system includes a cloud component that resides on a secured server in the cloud managed and powered by Microsoft Azure, a cloud-based platform as a service for businesses. This audio-video series contains the following sections: an overview of the dues tracking system, a section describing the accounting features and capabilities, and a section on setup and configuration. The next audio video presents how to use the query features of the dues tracking system. The main window for the dues tracking system is launched from within Dynamics GP. Select the option titled Main Window in the folder titled Dues Tracking, then select the button Process to launch the main window. The main window consists of two primary sections, a header section and a scroll section. The header section is for entering and viewing document level information, including checks and chapter-related membership dues receivable. The scroll section provides a scroll window for maintaining and viewing member-level detail for the union members in a local chapter. Let's enter a remittance check for the union dues from a local chapter to see how this window works. First, enter the local chapter number. This number is typically listed on the check or supporting documentation that accompanies the remittance. Select the Tab key to move through the fields. Note that the cursor skipped the field labeled Pay Cycle Start, but updated the field with a date. The Pay Cycle Start date is maintained in another window called the Common Names table. We'll explore that window in more detail when we discuss setup and configuration. However, for now, it's important to note that the Pay Cycle Start date is used by the system to determine the number of pay periods in a given month based on the pay frequency of the employer's payroll. And as we'll see in a few moments, the system uses the pay cycle start date and pay frequency to determine the number of payments applied in a given month and the ending pay period to apply to the payment being processed. Enter the period and year the payment will be assigned. There are a few actions that occur behind the scenes when you tab from the year field. The system evaluates the number of remittances received from this local chapter and determines the ending pay period associated with the remittance being entered based on the weekday when the checks are cut, the pay frequency, and the number of remittances already applied for the current period. The system then checks to see if you have an unposted remittance for this local chapter within this period, which you might have saved from a previous session when you were last signed on. If an unposted remittance is found, it is retrieved and displayed in the main window, where you can continue to edit the remittance. If there are no unposted remittances for the local chapter within the specified period, the system will display a prompt asking if you wish to assign the detail from the last posted remittance to the remittance you are currently entering. The assumption here is that it's easier and quicker to edit the detail of a previous remittance than it is to enter the detail for members in a local chapter each time you process a check. One final note on the topic of assigning pre-existing detail to a new remittance. If there are unposted remittances for the local chapter within the specified period and there are no posted remittances in history, the system automatically assigns member detail extracted from the membership database. Notice that the label titled Ending Pay Period is a hyperlink. Clicking this hyperlink opens a window titled Pay Date Calendar, which denotes the pay periods with a gray rectangle and denotes any periods with posted remittances applied to them with green check marks, and displays a red rectangle to denote the computed pay period where the current remittance will be applied. Also note that the system reports any unpaid periods prior to this period going back to the pay cycle start date. Selecting any period with a green check mark opens a window displaying the detail of the remittance posted to that pay period. The pay frequency, expected member count, member fee, transaction type, employee type, and total check amount are all editable fields. However, they should seldom change after initial values are assigned. A few observations to note. The member fee is programmatically computed or recomputed when the pay frequency is selected or changed. The system retrieves the monthly member fee from the common names table. We'll talk more about the common names table later in this presentation. The total check amount is programmatically computed or recomputed when the pay frequency and expected member count are changed. Let's complete our discussion about the header section of the dues tracking window by describing the buttons in the upper right corner of the window. Select the Print button to print a hard copy edit listing of the selected unposted remittance. The Save button saves the unposted remittance into a work table where it can be retrieved at a later time to complete entry or editing. Select the Post button to post the remittance into Dynamics GP and into the history tables of the dues tracking system. We'll illustrate this button in more detail at a later point in this video. The Clear button simply clears the window. Select the Delete button to delete the unposted remittance from the work table and clear the window. Select the button titled Member to enter new union members into the system. The Member Maintenance window also includes a section titled Member Dues Refunds. This section will be discussed in more detail at a later point in this video. As already stated, in order to minimize manual data entry, the system populates the detail in the scroll window from previously posted remittances or from union member detail extracted from the union membership database. Notice that the member names are shown as hyperlinks. Clicking on the hyperlinks displays a window titled Member Maintenance to enable you to edit member's name, pay frequency, employee type, and to indicate whether the member is currently active and whether the member pays an agency fee only. As already mentioned, the window also includes a section titled Member Dues Refunds, which will be discussed in more detail at a later point in this video. The amounts displayed in the column titled Other Payments are also hyperlinks. Clicking on the hyperlink opens a window titled Credits and Other Payments. Let's process a transaction through the Credit and Other Payments window. First, select a transaction type from the drop-down. The default selection is Past Due Payment. Let's select Suspense Account to record an uncategorized payment received from a member. Now let's enter the amount and period and select the button Create a New Payment or Credit to enter the payment. Simply close the window to complete this step. Amount due, amount applied, and unapplied amount are fields that can be manually edited. You can also use the checkbox to toggle amounts between amount applied and unapplied amount. Finally, the detail in the scroll window can be sorted by member ID, member name, and member last name. Okay, Let's take a few moments to post a couple of remittance checks. The first remittance will be a check that covers all of the union members in that local chapter. The second remittance will include payment for all but two of the members, where the receivable balance for the two unpaid members is written off. Let's take a look at the posting reports produced in Dynamics GP for the first of the two checks. Now, let's take a look at the accounts receivable age trial balance report. Next, let's see how the system automatically applied the cash to the local chapter's receivable balance. And finally, let's look at the receivable and cash remittance through the inquiry features of Dynamics GP. Okay, let's process a remittance check with write-offs. This check doesn't include union dues for the following two members. Notice that the sales posting journal shows the full amount due from all of the union members in that local chapter. However, the dues tracking report shows the write-offs. You also see the write-off amount reported in the Accounts Receivable Age Trial Balance Report. This concludes the first training video. Thank you.